Welcome to the Patient Advocate CEO Show, real talk for professional advocates. This is where independent advocates build client-funded, sustainable practices and step fully into CEO leadership.
Good morning. There's a moment in every advocacy practice where flexibility stops being a strength and starts becoming the reason nothing feels stable. Most advocates don't realize this until they're completely exhausted. They think the problem is time or confidence or marketing, but it's not. The real shift, the one that separates side hustle advocacy from CEO-led sustainable practice, is structure. And today, we're going to talk about why. So if you're new here, I'm Nicole. This is the Patient Advocate CEO Show, and this is a professional environment for independent, client-funded patient advocates who are building real practices, not hobbies, not passion projects, but practices. Everything we do here is about clarity that leads to execution. So if you've been telling yourself, I just need more flexibility right now, this conversation is for you. Let's be honest. Flexibility is about what pulls most people into advocacy. You want control over your schedule. You want to respond to real needs. You want to work case by case and help individual patients and families. And you know what? Early on, this flexibility feels responsible. But here's the pattern that I see over and over and over again. Flexible pricing, flexible scope, flexible availability, flexible boundaries. Eventually, all of this turns into inconsistent income, constant decision fatigue, clients who don't understand the work, and a practice that depends entirely on you reacting. And that is not freedom. That is fragility. So here's how you know flexibility has crossed the line. You decide pricing every time someone asks you what you charge. Or you customize the scope after the call instead of before, right? Or maybe you're always adjusting your services based on how someone feels. You say yes and then figure it out later. That is not professionalism. That is improvisation. And improvisation does not scale. So CEO-led advocates don't eliminate flexibility, okay? Let's get that straight right up front. They actually just contain it. They decide in advance what services exist, what outcomes are delivered, what the boundaries are, what the process actually looks like. Structure is what allows flexibility to exist without chaos. Think about this. A hospital is flexible in emergencies, right? Because it has structure everywhere else. Same principle. All right. This is important. Structure is not about being rigid. It's not about being cold. It's not even about losing compassion. Okay. Structure is a decision to stop renegotiating your worth, stop rebuilding the plane mid-flight, stop operating from urgency, okay? Most advocates don't need more confidence. They need fewer decisions. Let me make this practical. Structure lives in one clear primary offer, a defined scope, what's included and what's not, a set pricing structure, a repeatable intake process, and clear next steps for clients. Not 10 offers, not endless customization, not let's see what you need, but clarity creates confidence for you and for your clients. So here's the real shift I want you to think about today. Side hustle advocates ask, what does this client need right now? Okay, but CEO-led advocates ask, what structure supports consistent outcomes? That's not less care, that's leadership. And leadership is what makes this work sustainable. So if this conversation is hitting a little close to home, Good. That's usually the signal you're ready to move from reacting to deciding. If you want structure without pressure, your next best step is clarity. So start inside the independent advocate vault. It's where advocates build offers, pricing, and systems they can actually execute without overcomplicating everything. But if you want to work with this out live with us, join us on Wednesday for the weekly Advocacy Power Hour. That's where we take conversations like this and turn them into action. And if you're tired of circling the same decisions, 1 hour can change that. The CEO Action Plan Strategy session exists for that exact moment. You don't need more flexibility. You need structure that supports your work and your life. This is what we do here. We don't optimize for conversation, we optimize for execution. So if this helped you think differently, please subscribe. More importantly, decide your next step. I'll see you soon.
If today's episode helped you think differently about your work, don't stop here. Independent advocacy doesn't grow through more information. It grows through clarity and execution. So your next step is simple. Join us inside the weekly Advocacy Power Hour for free practical training every single week. All the links are below.